Right, welcome to another posting of this Land Rover 101 which me and my son are on with. It's been a time, Christmas and just generally being lazy I think more than anything else, and just being caught out with certain things, but we have been somewhat busy on it. I will give a quick update on the Jag, which isn't right much, that's why I'm not going to, that's why it will be quick, but anyway. Firstly, Happy New Year. I hope you have all a good Christmas, those just watching, and I hope that this new year will be positive for you and your families and so forth. Anyway, to it, what we've been doing, paneling and try to get it right. The door shuts and everything, they're not 100% perfect, but it's a Land Rover. That's the way I'm going to put it. It's a Land Rover and they're never perfect, but we'll get it, they're getting good. So yeah, that's what we've been doing, paneling on the roof, the sides, the doors, and that's generally been it really. So we'll go around that, show you what exactly what we've done. We'll try and get some close-ups of some stuff. I'll certainly get some pictures and we'll put those in on the slideshow so you can see better the things that we've done. The roof we've done up to here, and we've got the next panel to go in which will overlap for that one. We can't come any further for this one at the moment because I haven't got the sides in, and I'm trying to work out the actuators to drop the wings out, which the wheels will work on. I was looking at some gas struts, but when the wheel's off, the weight difference, so I was thinking maybe like a screw thing or something to pull it up, or an hydraulic ram to actuate it into position. I don't know yet, I've not really got my head around it. So yeah, so the doors, got the doors panelled, I've got the recesses made up for the hands to go in. And like I say, they're open and closing relatively well. Yeah, let's go round back and I'll show you the back door and the window I put in. So we'll go round back. So, back door. Just like that. So, the recess, like I say, same thing. Made up, welded in. Well, I should say, the box is welded up. The recess box, and it's riveted in. One thing to mention, sealed rivets, and the sealed around it, so you'll be able to see these bits of black hopefully around the rivets. That's sealant, so that obviously when we come to do the prep for painting, those will be cleaned back, but I've done that to try and stop water getting in between the rivet, which would then get underneath obviously the panel and in between the steel and everything. And last thing I want is corrosion happening around these, so I've tried to seal the best we can. It's all glued on, so it's not just riveted onto a painted panel, it's glued as well. So I've used some Sikaflex sealant for that. The window I got off eBay, companies for camper vans and stuff like that. So I was going to set it in, but the sizes, well, my original one was just going to be a piece of glass which was screwed on, not screwed on, glued onto it. Then I saw this one with a sliding window, so if you just hold on a second. Hope you got that. So that slides in there, just a nice little touch to it. But it's got some water vents here and here. So any water it might get down here, it gets caught in the runner and then it comes out of these vents instead of going things. So it lifted it out more than what I wanted. So to try and protect the edge of the glass, up at this face here, I made this recess bit. Well, it's not recessed, it actually is more like an emboss. It sticks out. So it's like now as if this is recessed into panel. This area here, the reason why I didn't bring this round here is because of these water vents that's in here. So what I'm going to do is, what I've done is I've put a chamfer here on this piece. So I'm going to make a piece that comes down and around, and it'll just come around and just protect the edge there, and it'll have some nice little oval vent holes for the water to just come out of that and down the panel, but it'll protect this bottom edge of the glass here, and it'll take away this ugly edge that we've got. So that's that. I put the ladders back on just, well, it keeps them out of the way, and it looks better as it's on there. So yeah, that's that done, and that's it. It doesn't sound a lot, but actually it's been quite a bit of a trial really, getting this panel in. This panel here, originally I wanted it to be one piece, but I got 6, did I get 6 sheets? No, I got 8 sheets of aluminium, and way it worked out, if I'd have cut just for this one door, I'd have wasted most of a sheet, which then I couldn't use the material anywhere else on it because of the size of the sheets that I'm having to use it in the panels. So I had to do it in 2 pieces, but it helped anyway for the window, which I had to make and weld all this up to fit it in. I did end up with a problem of the overlap here, because like I say, it wasn't designed to have all this material working into the shut gap. I worked out what the material thicknesses was going to be, so I'd end up with something like a 1.5 2 mil shut gapish around, but when it overlapped here and here, it pushed it out, and so it was pretty much touching either side. So what I've had to do is I had to cut the material from this skin underneath this flange that folds around, and then fold it back in. I've not done it at this end, but I've been thinking I might do, but it's not touching, but it just means that the shut gap just in this area here is just a bit tighter, is the gap, that's all. But I don't know, it's a Land Rover. I'm just going to put it down to the inaccuracies, it's a Land Rover. So anyway, that's that. Like I say, nothing else really I've done on it. I've got to still put the gutters, make the gutters to go over the tops of the doors. I've seen on the pictures I've got Land Rovers, there seem to be a couple of different shapes, or what appears to be different shapes. Some just come down and out like that, and some of them seem to have a channel lip formed into. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but anyway, so those are to go in. Yeah, there's still quite a bit to do, but we'll get in there. The Jag, we'll discuss that at the front because I've got a few things to discuss, some comments and things. So we'll go back to the front. We'll discuss those and a bit about the Jag, and then we'll wrap it up. Right. So comments for the Landy first, out of my book, and then just quickly for the Jag, because like I say, I've not really done anything on the Jag physically. But anyway, so the comments for basically for the Land Rover, and some strange. The actual channel names, there's some strange ones, but I'm not knocking you for choosing these names. Whatever you want, that's what I say. Anyway, so the first one, I did ask for comments to try and make this better, and it's difficult for me to try and get them all sorted out, just because of where things are at the moment. But I did get one from TSY 12152. Close-ups. Yeah, the camera, we got this camera which was better than my little handheld thing, which a lot of people said was really good for YouTube videos. So it's a Canon something, it's a total digital thing, it may do data, with a automatic focusing lens, but sometimes it messes up. Now I don't know whether it's us that's not working it right, or I don't know, but sometimes it just starts going in and out, and you might have seen some of my videos where it does go in and out. So when we try to adjust to go in, sometimes it can mess the video up, and so we're trying at the moment just to keep the camera focused, and then like I say, we'll put the pictures in as a slideshow, and then that way you'll get some close-ups. So that's where we're working at the moment, but maybe, I'm not sure if it's a lens or something, but I am thinking about looking at maybe getting another lens. A friend of mine's got a camera. It's a different camera, but it's got the same lens. It can clip onto it. At least he says so anyway. So I'm going to try to see if it's a lens of the automatic focusing on the lens, if that's causing the problem. But close-ups, thank you for that. And like I say, anybody's got any comments, please put them in to try and make these videos better, because I do want to make them better. I did say that I was going to try and make it every week, and I know I've been absolutely pathetic at that. We're trying, and it doesn't look like we're trying, does it? But we are, honestly. It's just content sometimes. Sometimes you do something and it doesn't look like you've done anything, and I don't want to get people to watch it and they're just bored, and then they just flick off, and then the interest is lost. I want to try and keep interest. And it's just, like I say, it's difficult because we don't get that much time to make the videos, because my son's all here on a Saturday because of his school and everything else, and I only get 3 days on it because of my part-time job, which helps pay for this. So, because it's just all a hobby, is this. There's no money made in this place at all. And I know after some people talked about not subscribing, monetizing my channel. But I don't get enough people. I don't want to throw loads and loads of adverts, like I've said before, and spoiling the videos as much as, well, yeah, some people might say you can't spoil it much more than they are, but anyway, that's where we are with that one. So anyway, next one, Paul Harris. Cheers always, Paul, for your comments and your interest for what I'm doing, especially for Jag. You talked about OEM gaskets for making the actual flanges. I don't have any, but I've got, like I say, I've got the original manifolds. But it was just making sure, because obviously I had to make it into a CAD model, and I don't have anything to scan the actual gaskets or the original exhaust manifolds. So it was literally just, but cheers for that comment. And no, it's still not running, mate. Sorry, we will get there. Somebody did ask when I think I've put it in my notes, but somebody asked, will it be running this year? I don't know. I'm hoping so. Exhaust is the last thing to do, really. I've got a couple of hose pipes to put on the radiators, just so I can get the coolant in, and it should be pretty much there. All the fuel lines and everything's there, all done. So it's just exhaust and the coolant pipes. So anyway, no, it's not running, sorry, but cheers for your interest. FU, and that's not intimated at anybody there, that's the next person's handle on their YouTube channel. A video, when I first started doing these videos, where you actually saw who was doing this, I did make a comment that I could possibly be moving out of this country because of the way I felt the country was going, and the things that the government were talking about and everything. But I said we did see how it went. So FU came in and says relocate and just do this in another country. I'm not a rich man, in fact far from it. I'm fortunate that I've got a wife that is patient with me and she allows me to do this. We don't go skint, as it were, but you could say that we do tread water now and again. So if I'd have had to move to another country, I would not have been able to pay to have most of this stuff moved over. I was considering it, and we did get in touch with a shipping company for a container to put most of this stuff in, but they never got back to us. But anyway, it turned out that things didn't go as bad as what I felt it might be doing. So we're still here, and hopefully, cross fingers, we will for the future. And lighting, he mentioned lighting. We've got some lighting, and hopefully the videos, and if you see them, hopefully they're a little bit better with the lighting we've got. So cheers for that one. A dude called Land Rover. You've asked me about canvas poles and the roof bars. I do have them. I'll take some pictures. They're not mint. It does appear that when it was in the military, they've been putting things on the roof, and I've seen pictures where the military did put stuff on the roof, even though they were canvas. They were piling stuff on, so there have been some welding and some bits and pieces, but they're there. I'll take some pictures, and I'll probably put those up as well at some point for you. I've got to dig them out. So, Alex L, you talked about chassis repair or new chassis. What did I do with this? And you talked about where you get this stuff from. I can't remember if you said you was in France. Anyway, I repaired this. There's a company called 101 Parts, and they specialise in making outriggers, cross members and so forth, but they also do a complete chassis. Expensive. Let's just say that, expensive. If you don't want to mess around and jig all your chassis up and whatever, and having to weld it and whatever, a new one, yeah, dead easy. Just take all your stuff off and put it on your new chassis. And they do look good to the chassis that they produce. But the parts that they put on, if you want to mess around, chopping all your old rubbish off, resetting it all up and putting all new outriggers and cross members back in, that's what I did with this. The only things that you can't get from them, my chassis, I think this has been sat in sea because there was that much rot in it, and most people probably would have just scrapped the chassis. But for me, it wasn't a big deal really. But what I did have to do, I had to chop out most of the bottom half of the chassis because it's a box section with two U-channels welded together. One appears to be sat inside the other, and then they just run a weld all the way down. I had to chop most of that off and get some new material and fold it up and weld it all back in. So that's what I did with this. Big job. But yeah, but you can get them at 101 Parts. You go online, you'll find them straight away, and like I said, they do both full chassis or your bits and pieces. So just for that one, Alex. Dennis McBurney, thank you for enjoying both of my projects, and especially for the Jag. And you asked, would it be for sale after I finish messing around with it a bit? Possibly. One of the things when we're building these cars, I enjoy the build. I do enjoy messing around a little bit, you know, when they're finished. But for me, believe it or not, I'm not really a big car person. When I was younger, I was into motorbikes, but when I was younger, I was getting in trouble with police quite a bit with them. So cars have it's transport for me. But I do enjoy building them. I enjoy the differences. So that's why classic cars at Land Rover, I enjoy the difference. So I will be using it, but it probably will be for sale. But one of the things, when everybody asks me, what would you sell it for? What's it worth? How long's a piece of string? I have no idea, because it depends on what the market's going to say in relation to what it's worth. It's not going to be given away, let's put it that way, but it probably will be for sale at some point after I finish playing with it. I want to get it to some shows. I'd love to try and get it in some magazines, because like I say, I want to know what interest people really have for this kind of work and the work I'm doing. Like I say, it's not a business. I find it interesting. I would probably enjoy building these things as a business, but I can't shift over because I don't see that much interest for my work as such yet. Anyway, but yeah, thank you for your interest in Land Rover and Jag, and maybe wanting to buy it. Rob Broadhurst, paint code. Just hold your horses. Right, so paint code Rob. It's Y in brackets, then GN29 British Racing Green. And I believe it's MG's British Race, not a Jaguar British Race. I think it's MG's. I'll take a picture and that'll be on this as well, just so you've got that. But it's GN29 and in brackets Y. But it's just, I think it's MG's British Racing Green is that. And I hope your car looks nice if you get the colour. It is a nice colour actually, especially when it's buffed and you get it in the sun. Russ Cook, well, we'll be driving, so yeah, so just as Paul asked about when it would be running, like I said, how long's a piece of string? Hopefully sooner than later, as most people are commenting and talking to me about, so hopefully soon. Anyway, but cheers for your interest in that. And this one, I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's just a bunch of letters and stuff thrown together. But sorry, mate, if you think I'm not digging you. But it's it could be Rona MVCS. I don't know. But anyway, Ron EMVCS, Rona, whatever it is. But anyway, interesting this one, this chap. And cheers for your input about rumble. A lot of people talk about rumble and noises coming from drivetrain, and I've read quite a number of things about the angles of the prop shafts, and they are quite severe. And obviously that's not going to help with anything, especially if you get the slightest bit of play. It will be exacerbated just simply because of the angles. And this chap goes into quite a bit of detail as to, even though when the system's perfect, you get noise. Now, I'm taking the statement rumble as something's loose instead of just a kind of mechanical noise, like, you know, when you dog cut gears in a gearbox and you get that gearbox whine. Or a super, you know the difference. And I think a lot of people talk about, actually I've got this physical noise which is not your normal. So as I'm taking rumble as in something's moving around, but it's certainly interesting, and I would certainly agree with you that there is going to be an amount of noise because of the angles, because they are quite severe. And I have seen some strange, and it does talk about some specific types of prop shafts, and if the ones I'm thinking about, you've got a set of joints in between the joints or something. And another gentleman talked about it a bit since, but more joints you put in, you do weaken it. So yeah, but so cheers for those. There were other comments. I was going through them last night because I've been into it, but same thing, I've been lazy, and some of them, it's not that I just dismiss them. I do look at all the comments. I don't get a great many because I don't have a great many people watching the channel, but I am grateful for all those that do, and I do read them all. So thank you. And those are some of the ones I pulled out, which I thought was interesting, and they wanted information back. So yeah, so I've just gone over that. So if anybody's bored, skip to this point now. And we'll talk about Jag. So the Jag, I'm going to do a video when I get my computer working properly, because the thing is, all my electrical goods are going downhill. Anyway, so I keep losing one of my drives, and I can't get to all my files and stuff because they're on the drive, and it's part of my desktop. So all my stuff, some of the stuff, my files, I put them on the desktop when I'm using them to move wherever. So I'm going to I want to do a video of the bucket seat back, what I've designed. I've had a right job designing these backs. Not because they don't look complex, and I suppose they're not, but trying to get things to match up because of the different planes that I have in the design, with one plane mating up and not going through all the stuff, and I will show you. So I've been messing around for quite some time, and I've sorted that now, just try to better understand Fusion 360, which I'm using. but it's looking quite, they look quite good. And like I say, when you'll see this video when if I can get my desktop to build all this new bit of video footage up, I can get that in, but I'm not promising that, because at the moment, like I said, it's just mashed up and it comes and goes. So anyway, I've been working with the bucket seat backs. I've got those pretty much drawn up now. There's a few little bits and pieces, but I'm pretty much there. I just have to open it all out now, so I can cut it, mark it and cut it out, so then I can fold it back into its shape. So those are done. The flanges, I've been in touch just before Christmas. I got in touch with a couple of companies, didn't get anything back from them. Got back in touch. One dude said he had been. Anyway, all the waffle. Because I can't get my desktop, I can't get the actual files. They're lost at the moment, because I can't open up my F drive, because, like I say, the computer just is not recognising it. I've done all sorts to try and get it, and it just comes and goes, but at the moment it's gone. And so I need a new computer, like everything else I need. So it's pretty much, it's stalled at the moment. There are other little bits and pieces I could be doing, but I thought they're only, well, they're not small bits as such, but I thought I'd just throw myself at the Land Rover and I'll get the things that I'm working on. So the exhaust, that's my next step, is getting that thing built. So when I get in the flanges, I can start getting that going. But like I said, I've got stuck again, which it does sound like a damned excuse, but that's what it is. So get that done, and then we're running then again with Jag. Because I want to get back on with it, I really do. Not that I've got bored with Land Rover, but I do want to get, and my wife is getting on to me, because some of the comments is, yes, it's been going on for a long time. And my wife, I think, well, I didn't realise I would be stretching it out that long, but it has, it's gone on. And I have changed things, and my ideas have grown with the car as I've been building it, and obviously I've been learning things as well. So just learning some of the, like the stitching, getting the walking foot sewing machine, industrial sewing machine, learning how to use that, you know, that's just been a thing in itself, trying to make good stitching. Even though it's a machine, you can still cock it up real easy. So I've been learning that. Like I said, there's lots of things that has stretched it out. But ultimately, I think it's worth it. So yeah, so like I said, there's bits and pieces, but the exhaust, I get that done, and then I'll start finishing off. I've got the chrome work to get cleaned up and then replated. The windscreens to go in at the front, the back one's in. I think I've done a video of the back one in, but it's only a rear windscreen, so I'm not going to make a real video just a windscreen, because that would be boring, unless I was showing it fitting it, and I can't do that because I just haven't got the stuff and the time to do that way. I think that's it with all the ranting that I've been going on. Hope I've not bored you too much. But once again, Happy New Year, and I hope it will all be good for everybody, what's still going on. But anyway, always appreciative of all the comments and your interest that you put into watching me doing this. Like I say, I am an amateur, I'm not professional, although some people said you're better than a lot of people they've seen. That's to be seen, I suppose. We all say one thing and mean another sometimes, and anyway. But yeah, so thank you for all your comments and your watching. And if it's your first one you're watching, hit the subscribe. And it would be nice to get a like, but if not, it is what it is. But I hope you found this interesting, and the other videos that I've got and the ones that I've been producing in the future. You all take it steady, and I'll see you on the next update on whether it's the Land Rover, which it probably will be. But we will be getting on with the Jag, and that'll be coming in soon as well. So once again, thanks a lot, and have a good one. Take it steady, you all.